So for realtors, if they're showing the property, they're getting ready to write an offer, what would you say are some things that they should be looking at and pointing out to the borrower? Hey, this right here, aside from the canyon behind it,
Yeah.
like the house, the structure itself, like what should they be looking for that may lead to a denial or something? Or because sometimes they come after the deal is closed and they have the photographer or whatever come out. They take the photos and then they go, okay, you got 30 days to fix this stuff, or we're canceling the policy. How can they avoid that or make the homeowner aware that this might be an issue either pre or post closing?
Roofs are a big deal. We're looking for roofs that are being replaced after so many years. I think homeowners sometimes forget that, and then they're going to sell the house, so it's now not their issue. But we're looking at roofs that the tiles aren't pulled up, that the roofs aren't worn. We're looking for clean gutters. We're looking for trees that are touching the home. You see a lot of that in Temecula, where the trees are so close to the roof of the house and that's just not a thing for us. We need those moved. I had a client the other day. I went up to his house and he says, I have these olive trees. And I'm thinking small olive trees. No, they were really big olive trees. And they were
Yeah,
literally just hitting his window and his roof. And I said, that's going to be an issue. We just don't want anything that close to your house, to your roof. You've got to move it. You see these homes and these beautiful eucalyptus, these trees, and but they're tinder. So we're asked if you're going to buy, if you're buying a house in the areas like that, Duluth and all that, make sure that you've got a really good clearing around that house. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for really good clearing around the house. And a lot of these houses, they're forestry like. And so people like the park like look, which is great, but you're also now amongst trees that are way too close. And that's what, and they'll usually come in and they'll say, please clear these trees. Please cut these down. Please make sure the brush is 10 feet away, things like that. And that's what you're seeing the cancellations. And a lot of them are also roofs, staircases that are bad outside the home. A lot of these Duluth homes, Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear homes, you have the stairs that go up to the house. Those have to be, they have to have rails, they have to be in good shape. Decks have to be in good shape. That's what they're looking at. Those are all
yeah,
the things they're looking at.
yeah. Every time I go to a house with a nice view and they have these decks all around it, all I think about is maintenance the entire time. I'm like,
Absolutely.
oh,
And they're looking at old paint because if they're seeing old paint and non-maintained, they also know that their deck's probably not been maintained. And you know what? That wood softens and things like that. I just had a girlfriend. She literally went in Canyon Lake. She literally went through her deck, just literally went right through.
wow.
It's just you don't think to maintain it as well. But they had to tear up the entire deck and rebuild the entire thing in front of her house. And so it's those things that they're looking for. So as a realtor, make sure that everything looks maintained. Those inspection reports are now more important than ever. We used to say, oh, they're great, the little minor things, but now those are really important to look at. How is that deck? When was the last time they maintained it? When was the last time somebody came out to fix the staircase and things like that that are outside the home? Not talking about in the home, outside of the home.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. I have one more thing. You asked about realtors. If the policyholder, even the buyer even has an, if this is like their top two homes that they're going to offer, pick up the phone, call the insurance agent ASAP, confirm what that house looks like to insure, not pricing, because if it's a fair plan, just know if they say, oh, that's going to be fair plan, just know, oh, I'm going to need pictures before I walk off this property. If I'm going to put a bid in, I'm going to take pictures before I leave. I'm going to take pictures of the roof, of the clearing, of all of that, so that when the offer goes in, I'm going to tell my insurance agent to go ahead and run that fair plan at the same time. Like you
Mm,
want it to be almost simultaneous now. You don't want to wait till the offer is accepted. You don't want to wait for the back and forth and then do it. You're just adding 2 more weeks that fair plan might have needed. So the day the offer goes in, I say the insurance needs to go in at the same time.
okay. As a homeowner shopping out insurance that non-high fire, just
Okay.
crack home, middle of Temecula. What questions should they be asking the insurance agent when they're shopping around? And what should
Um,
they be looking at? Because I do see some of these quotes come in, and a lot of it has to do with the amount of insurance that's being provided, whether it's repair value or value. I see discrepancies there, and I see discrepancies on what they determine as the rebuild cost as well. Some might say it's whatever, 550,000, and then someone else says no, it's 580. So what determines that, and what should homeowners really be looking at to determine on what is the best value? Not necessarily cheapest, but what is the best coverage value?
So I look at it. So when I work with my clients, because I always say I love being a part of that decision because it is important. Value is important. So we use a program called Exact, where most insurance companies do, and or they should. And the insurance agent should be asking you a lot of questions. If you're getting a quote where they just ask for your address, I would say definitely reconsider that. And the reason is because they're going to Google the address, they're going to see it, but they don't really know what you've done, right? They're going to see pictures from when the house was being sold, not necessarily what you've done now. So I always say, make sure the insurance agent's asking you questions like, when was the roof replaced? What kind of flooring do you have in your home? What kind of this? What kind of that? What does the house look like? A lot of times I'll go out to the home, even tract homes. There are some beautiful tract homes in Temecula that when you walk in, you're shocked. You're like, holy crap, this looks like a custom home inside. So I'll go, even before I give a quote, I'll look at the house, and then I'll put together an exactware. The exactware tells me exactly how much that rebuild is because it's using contractor pricing at that time. It's all real time. So we get contractor pricing, so we know we're right. We know we're close, and we want to be. We're never going to be perfect, Travis, but we need to be close enough, and that exactor brings us close enough. And then the client can at that time determine, no, I feel like we need a little bit more. No problem, we can add a little bit more. They can't go less because remember, this is what we determine. But
Mm-hmm.
I have had clients go, you know what? I feel like I want to add just a little bit more. Now we cushion it. Every company cushions it a little bit. Like 20%, they add on a 20% differential just because sometimes things happen at the time of the loss. So there's a 20% cushion in there, but some clients still want a little bit more than what the exact rate even says, and that's fine. But most of the time, the exact rate has been good. I haven't had a lot of total losses in my career, 24 years, but I've had a few and we've been close. The only time that we weren't close was 2021 when the market went crazy with labor and he was on the brink of renewal. It was funny. It was sad because we were on the brink of renewal and the renewal would have brought him up to market because we had done it last year. But 21, we went crazy, didn't we? Everything went
Yeah.
like this really
Lumber was
fast.
crazy. Everything. Yeah.
Everything was crazy. And so that was probably the only one where we came back and said, we're going to pay him 100% of everything on the policy just to get him to where he needs to be. It wasn't our fault. It wasn't his fault. It just happened that the market went in a direction that nobody saw in 21. It just went straight up. It wasn't even like slant. It just
Yeah.
went like this. So, and he was
Yeah.
2 months away from renewal where we would have been there, but we just didn't get there and his house burned. It
Wow.
half burned, but we totaled it because half a burnt house is just not fixable. So we
Yeah.
totaled it. Yeah. But
Wow.
that we get close, Travis. So that's what I would look at. And if you ever have a question, ask the insured, did you get an exactware? Did you get something that says this is the right price? Because they should have printed out in California, it's required that we print it out and put it in their hands, either by mail or in person. So they have to have something.
And then what are some like things that after they
Mm-hmm.
close,
Yeah.
how can they get some discounts? Can they do some things to their house? Or aside from the multi-policy thing, is there any way to get some sort of discount by modifying parts of the house?
Yes. So in California, part of this is insurance sustainability. The insurance companies are starting to be able to offer discounts for fireproofing the house. It's not there yet, but we're getting there. And you'll probably hear about it more because when you build these houses in these areas, when a lot of them do fireproof, they put in their own water tanks, they do all the things, but they've never been able to use all the things, right, for a discount. We're moving towards that where the insurance companies will be able to offer some discounts for doing all the things to the house, like putting on the protective roof, building the house with resistive stuff. It's getting there. It's not there yet, Travis, but it's getting there. We do have community discounts. There aren't any communities in Temecula, Murrieta right now. I think there's one or two in Murrieta that allow for a 5% community discount through Firewise. It's not an easy task, but you can do it. You only need 9 homes to do it. So you can, but it's just, but I haven't had anyone here do it. You have to work with the fire department. You have to work with the fire department and your community leaders to do it. But there is a 5% discount. And then there's another wildfire discount that we're offering that we've been approved for in California. And I think a lot of companies have, where if you do certain things to your front yard, removing shrubs and trees and things like that, that you're able to get a discount now.
So it's
Yeah,
all fire related for the most
it's
part.
all fire related. Yeah, which is funny because the biggest claims I get are water losses, but it's
Yeah.
usually fire. I know it's all the discounts go towards fire. But usually my biggest losses are water losses because people don't understand that they need to maintain their pipes. And pipes
Yeah.
get old, just like your car. You drive your car enough, the whole hoses and everything start to crack, and your pipes are the same in your house. You live in a house that's 20, 30, 40 years old. Start making sure you're checking your pipes, having that plumber come in every couple of years and doing a maintenance check, making sure the pressure is good, that he doesn't detect any leaks in the walls, things like that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's no discounts for upgrading piping or something, especially from an 80s house
Mm-mm.
that has the plastic in there or something.
There is. Yeah, there is. So if you do a whole house repiping, like literally change the entire house, and you show the insurance company that, they do, like we do, we offer discounts for that. We offer it for
Yeah.
electrical and plumbing, but it is a whole house revamp. It's not just a come in and fix a few things. It is a whole house revamp. Then we will. Not,
Hmm.
yeah, so we will do that. We will do it for electrical panels too. If you show that you upgrade your electrical panels, like full upgrade, then we will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just had a condo listed, and the HOA put in an assessment on everybody because the electrical panels needed to be upgraded, and the insurance company was going to be charging them a lot extra if they didn't go and upgrade all these panels throughout the whole community. All the homeowners had to spend $1,500 and upgrade their panels.
Yeah. So, yep, that's a thing. Yep. And the insurance companies will offer a discount for that. So, if you, I don't know, every one of them is different. So, if you had the electrician do it, have him write up what he did and then submit it and see if they will.
Yeah. So,
So those are the things you can do after. After, if you feel like you're going to replumb, repipe, do all of that, talk to your insurance agent. They may be able to give you a discount. If you're going to re-landscape, talk to the insurance agent and see what kind of landscape allows for a discount. It's usually no shrub, no bushes within a 10-foot area of the home. It's usually the rock formation types of the low watering type of things
mhm.
that work. Yeah. What else? Those are about the
What
things.
about, and I don't even know anymore, but there was proximity to like fire hydrants or street
I,
lighting and things like that. Is all that kind of like
no,
just nickels and
yeah,
dimes now?
yeah, they want you to be within 5 to 6 miles of a fire department, which most of these are, a lot of these are, but your deluge is still going to be your problems. The crest is still your problems because you do have some homes way out there. So that's not as much of a thing. That's just going to determine if you're even eligible for a normal policy or you go in a fair plan. Are you going to be that house on the cliff? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I answered some of your questions about how to process it quicker with the, like I said, it's going to be a triangle. You've got to work with the insurance agent, the realtor, and the lender. And that first, if you're going to use Fair Plan, that first policy going in, that first application has to be near perfect. Those pictures have to be near perfect. I overtake pictures and then I upload some and then I email the others because I want them to have so many pictures that they realize I'm not afraid of showing them this house. Because I think sometimes the scarcity of the pictures makes them wonder. Keep in mind, they're underwriters. You guys work with underwriters all day. When the information's missing, what do they think? They're thinking, what's going on? What? Either it's a really bad file or I'm just not getting the whole picture of the file. So better to just get the whole shebang. I send in 20, 30 pictures. I send in multiple pictures of angles of roofs. I do it all. And when you do that, I've had really good luck with it processing fairly quickly.
Okay. Yeah. So for the really proactive real estate agent that understands
Mm-hmm.
holdups with insurance, especially if you know it's going to go fair plan
Yep.
because it's that fire and that's just what's going to happen. What pictures are like a must that so roof, angles of
Roof,
roof, like close-ups,
panoramics of the
shrubbery.
house. Yep,
Yeah.
shrubbery panoramics of the house. Stand at the front door and take a picture outwards.
Okay.
Stand in the backyard at the back door and take a picture outwards. Take a picture of the sides of the house because people want to see what that access looks like to the sides of the home. I take a picture of the whole house. Like I'll stand at the end of the driveway and take a picture of the whole house. And then I start walking up and I'm usually climbing walls and retainer walls and trying to get good pictures of the roofs as best as I can because I want them to see that, hey, this is a good roof. They're
Yeah.
looking for moss on the roof. They don't want moss on the roof. And I'm telling him, I had a client the other day, he had moss on his roof. I said, look, you're going to have to power wash that. Get
Yeah.
that off of that. So he cut his olive trees, he trimmed them way back, and then he power washed the moss off because you have to. And the
Yeah.
moss is from all the rains last year and all the heat this year. So
Yeah.
you have to get that off and clean it up. And people don't realize that. They just leave it and that's not good because that dries and becomes
Agrees
thin.
it and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I guess the key is you're taking pictures of everything and not trying to hide stuff because it's going to be found, right? Or they're
it's
just
gonna
going to
be
send you
found.
back out there anyways.
Exactly. And then you're
So,
just delaying the application. So I always say more pictures better. Take
yeah.
good pictures and they do, for some reason, they are on this roof issue thing. So I take several pictures of the roof, panoramic, I do all of it. And then I process it all in. I take about 20 to 30 pictures. I process it all in. Actually, I'm doing one after this call, about 30 pictures, process it all in. Like I said, top two homes, when you offer, do the policy at the same time. Your insurance agents don't mind. They'd rather that than for you to call them and say, oh my God, where's the policy? Where's the policy? Where's the policy? We have no control. So I think I'd rather spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes doing the app and the house falls through, the house falls through. I
Yeah.
get it, but it is what it is in this market. And you guys have been good to us. We need to be, when we could do policies in 24 hours, we were rock stars. Now we're lucky we do it in a month. So
Yeah.
it's get it into us ASAP. We will do the extra work. And if the house falls through, the house falls through. But don't do it on every home. But like your top two, if you're gonna take time to write the offer, we will take the time to do the insurance. And that way we're all moving at the same pace.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one just in Winchester last month. Not high fire, middle of a track, nice
Mm-hmm.
house, completely upgraded, very nice place. And we had moved the insurance contingency down to about 10 days. And the lenders, I don't know, that's gonna be a little tight. And
Mm-hmm.
it took 2 weeks and they were on it. And that was a very simple home, if you want to call it a simple home,
Yeah.
like run of the mill. And it still took them 2 weeks to get everything done for them to be able to be comfortable to release that contingency for the insurance. And so I was like, wow, these are really dragging a lot now. I know yeah, and they were on top of it. So they weren't lazy. So they were very good to work with.
Yeah,
So
it's not us. I think everybody's starting to understand. We just don't have control. We're waiting for things too. So the more time you give us, the better. And it's gonna work out for everybody. Like you said, Travis, we're on it. It's just we can't move it any faster. And especially Fair Plan. And God bless those people. They are working hard. They really are. They're hired more. They get it. We were just on a call with them the other day. State Farm was on the call with Fair Plan, and the man was like, we're doing our best, we're hiring more, we get it's taking too long. And so we're just trying to push this through. And it's hard. It's 2 hours on the phone. If you're going to call Fair Plan, you're waiting 2 hours. So it's just, you've got to, they're higher call volume. They're open later now because of the high call volume. So like I said, they get it. It's just, we just need to work together. And top two houses, offer goes in, call Fair Plan. Keep in mind, our insurance isn't necessarily based on your rates because we're insuring it to replace the house. You're just covering whatever the market value of the house is for your lender. So what the offer comes in and what it finalizes at isn't going to affect the insurance. We're still doing it at replacement, right?
yeah,
So it doesn't matter to us. And you guys understand that if your loan's 7 million, a million, but the house is, in Carlsbad for 300,000, you don't expect $1 million. That's just market value. You're on the beach, but the
yeah,
house is still a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom little shack. So,
Yeah.
but that doesn't affect us. So that's why I said top two, offer goes in, insurance goes in. Do it all at the same time. Don't wait for the offer to be accepted, the 2 week, 3 week back and forth. Don't do any of that. Just put it in.
Yeah. All right. That's good advice.
Yeah.
So.